On a cloudy morning in Tokyo, Narita Airport becomes a silent witness of an emotional moment between BTS's Jungkook and the Japanese army.
It was no ordinary day.
Fans have been waiting with enthusiasm and longing, bringing various attributes such as banners, balloons, and even flowers to welcome their beloved idol. Amid the roar of footsteps and the sound of airport announcements, hysterical shouts suddenly echoed as Jungkook's figure finally appeared at the door of the international arrivals. With a simple but still charismatic appearance, Jungkook wore a black hoodie and casual jeans. Although he tried to hide his face behind a mask and hat, nothing could hide his star aura. He stepped out with a small smile that tried to remain calm, but his sparkling eyes hinted that he was as moved as the fans who packed the airport. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. There was only Jungkook and a sea of army waving, calling his name lovingly. Jungkook paused for a moment, looking around with a grateful look. He then raised his hand to wave to the fans, a simple gesture that was immediately greeted with boisterous cheers. One soldier in the front row carried a poster that read, "Welcome to Tokyo, Jungkook. We missed you." Jungkook read it and seemed to smile even wider. This moment was so brief yet so meaningful to everyone present. As one of BTS's youngest members, Jungkook has become known for his closeness to fans. She often shows a warm and caring side, both through in-person interactions and social media. However, that moment at the airport was one of the most real and sincere. Jungkook realized how much love and support the army has always provided, especially in times when international tours and in-person meetings were halted due to the pandemic. Among the crowd, there was a fan crying haru while holding a stuffed rabbit, which is a cute symbol for Jungkook in army circles. Seeing this, Jungkook, without hesitation, approached the fan. Despite the tight guard from security, she took a moment to accept the doll and give her autograph. The fan looked incredulous that his idol was actually standing in front of him, and his tears flowed even more profusely. "Thank you for coming," Jungkook said softly but meaningfully, leaving everyone who saw him touched. Over the next few minutes, Jungkook continued to interact with fans, picking up some small gifts and making sure to pay attention to as many people there as possible. When he finally had to leave for his vehicle, cheers and BTS songs sung by the army were still heard all over the airport. Jungkook looked back to wave his hand once more before disappearing from view. This incident immediately went viral on social media. The hashtags Jungkook in Tokyo and Welcome Home Jungkook began to dominate the global trend on Twitter, with millions of fans around the world sharing videos, photos, and stories about the moment. Many praised Jungkook for his humility and his way of appreciating the fans, even though he himself is on a busy schedule. Behind the scenes, this moment is also a reflection of how BTS, especially Jungkook, has built a deep and authentic relationship with their fans. In an interview after arriving at the hotel, Jungkook briefly expressed his feelings. "I am so grateful for the great love from the army. Every time I meet them, it gives me new energy to keep working and give my best," he said with teary eyes. Army Japan, known as one of the most loyal and creative fan bases, not only welcomed Jungkook at the airport but also graced the streets with banners and advertisements featuring his face. Some restaurants and cafes even offer special Jungkook-themed menus during his visit in Tokyo. The atmosphere in the city really turned into a celebration full of love and passion. One of the most touching moments was when an elderly fan gave Jungkook a letter through his staff. The letter contains a story about how BTS music, especially Jungkook's voice, has been a source of strength during difficult times. In the letter, the fan wrote, "Thank you for being the light in my life. Your voice is the hug that calms my heart whenever the world feels heavy." This story was later shared by many people and is a living proof of the positive impact Jungkook has brought to the lives of his fans. Over the next few days in Tokyo, Jungkook's schedule remained packed with various activities, including interviews and photo shoots. However, that moment at the airport remains the main highlight that everyone remembers. Many Japanese media highlighted this incident as an example of how BTS is not only a global musical phenomenon, but also a cultural icon capable of touching the hearts of people around the world. This story is not just about a K-pop star who is warmly welcomed by her fans. It is about the giving relationship between Jungkook and the army, which transcends linguistic and cultural boundaries. The moment at Narita Airport is a reminder that love and appreciation don't need translation, and that every little interaction can have a profound impact. When the plane carrying Jungkook left Tokyo a few days later, many returning soldiers gathered at the airport to bid farewell. Their cheers and singing again accompanied Jungkook's steps towards the departure gate. With a warm smile, he waved his hand for the last time, leaving a trace of unforgettable memories in the hearts of everyone present. For Jungkook, this trip may be just one of many he's made in his career. However, for the Japanese army, it was a special moment that they will remember forever. And as always, the relationship between BTS and its fans continues to be proof that music does have the power to bring the world together. On a cloudy morning in Tokyo, Narita Airport becomes a silent witness of an emotional moment between BTS's Jungkook and the Japanese army.
It was no ordinary day.
Fans have been waiting with enthusiasm and longing, bringing various attributes such as banners, balloons, and even flowers to welcome their beloved idol. Amid the roar of footsteps and the sound of airport announcements, hysterical shouts suddenly echoed as Jungkook's figure finally appeared at the door of the international arrivals. With a simple but still charismatic appearance, Jungkook wore a black hoodie and casual jeans. Although he tried to hide his face behind a mask and hat, no one could hide his star aura. He stepped out with a small smile that tried to remain calm, but his sparkling eyes hinted that he was as moved as the fans who packed the airport. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. There was only Jungkook and a sea of army waving, calling his name lovingly. Jungkook paused for a moment, looking around with a grateful look. He then raised his hand to wave to the fans, a simple gesture that was immediately greeted with boisterous cheers. One soldier in the front row carried a poster that read, "Welcome to Tokyo, Jungkook. We missed you." Jungkook read it and seemed to smile even wider. This moment was so brief yet so meaningful to everyone present. As one of BTS's youngest members, Jungkook has become known for his closeness to fans. She often shows a warm and caring side, both through in-person interactions and social media. However, that moment at the airport was one of the most real and sincere. Jungkook realized how much love and support the army has always provided, especially in times when international tours and in-person meetings were halted due to the pandemic. Among the crowd, there was a fan crying haru while holding a stuffed rabbit, which is a cute symbol for Jungkook in army circles. Seeing this, Jungkook, without hesitation, approached the fan. Despite the tight guard from security, she took a moment to accept the doll and give her autograph. The fan looked incredulous that his idol was actually standing in front of him,